You, then you be fooling. I'm peeping all of your movements. Cause girl, you the one I'm assuming. All of these bitches be choosing. But girl, you the one that I'm choosing.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, IzIz Nya. Hi. So today I am going to be showing you guys how I get no flashback. I want to show you guys the techniques, some setting powders that I use, and probably one of my famous techniques that I love to use. And it took me years to learn this. Like, it took me some years. So I want to show you guys how I do it. So it's from me to you. So if you're interested, please continue to watch, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you see here. Without any further ado, let's get started. Also, if you guys want to learn about this hair, I will have the link down below in the description box so you guys can go check it out. Because I'm not going to lie to y'all, I'm in love with this hair. It's beautiful, beautiful. And I made this wig too. So if you want to learn about that too, that'll be down below in the description box as well. Let's get started. All right, guys. So one of the ways that you can get a flawless finish with your setting powder and for you to avoid flashback is you have to start with a really good foundation and blending your foundation out very, very well. This is something I was taught probably about maybe like 4 or 5 years ago when I first started doing my makeup. You really got to start with a good foundation. Like, you don't have to just, you have to use a foundation that is suitable for your skin. So if you have dry skin, you want to use something that's dewy. And if you have oily skin, you want to use something that's suitable for your oily skin. If you have combination skin, you want to use something that is suitable for your combination skin. So the foundation that I'm going to be mixing today, because my skin is like 2 different colors because it's summertime. Let me see. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I need you. Okay, so I'm going to mix it with a cream palette that I have. So I'm going to be using the Ruby Kisses No More Blemish Liquid Foundation. And this is all day wear. So I'm going to use this. And then I'm going to use this Ruby Kisses 3D Face Creator on my skin. So the first thing that I do, if I'm going to be using a cream contour, well, this is something that I should do first, but sometimes I just mix it if I'm in a rush. So I just take some of the 3D and just pat it onto my skin. And I pat it on my cheeks, contour. Just so it won't be hard to blend like later on. And then I slightly do my nose. It doesn't really matter about the nose because I usually go back in and like really like chisel my nose. And then I'm gonna go in with the foundation. So if you don't have a beauty blender, that's fine. I usually use a blending brush, a foundation brush specifically. And I'm using the Makeup Institute brush, and this is a foundation brush. And I literally pat the foundation like I'm using a beauty blender into my skin. I could have started with the outer corner of my face first, but I'm gonna go with the front. And here's another trick. If it's too much product on the brush, just wipe it with the towel. So that way you don't feel like you're just rubbing, like you're just smearing it all over your face. You want to pat it onto your skin. Like you're using patting motions when you're using a foundation brush so you can get a flawless finish. If you have to wipe, that's fine. Because like right here, I'll wipe. But then I'll pat it so I won't get any streaks. And then when it comes to the contour, I'm wiping it and patting it at the same time. So wiping and patting, wiping and patting, wiping and patting, wiping and patting. Then same thing for my nose. I just pat it on underneath this eye. I can wipe, but I must pat because I want it to get into my skin. Like, you want to make sure your foundation is in your skin, not laying on top of it. So now when I get to the center, I pat it into like a little circle so my forehead could look a little smaller, and then with the contour I just blend it in to the circle. I gotta go down and kind of blend this out. There we go. And this is for your forehead to look a little smaller. So once my foundation starts to look a little bit like this, where I don't see no streaks, I don't see anything, then I'm good to go. So concealer. Concealer is such an important part. Like, I can't stress this enough. If you are going to use a lighter concealer underneath your eyes, you want to use a setting powder that is like, that has a tint to it, meaning that it has some kind of color. And I'm going to give you guys a perfect example. So my Shein setting powder has a color to it. This is in the shade, let me see. This is in the shade light brown. I was going to get medium, but I realized medium is too light for my skin tone. And I was really playing the guessing game on the website, but I'm glad that I went with the light brown because it looks like this is my Maybelline Loose Shine Free. Let me say that again. My Maybelline Shine Free Loose Powder. And this is in the shade medium. And this is my holy grail. This mimics it. But this one is cheaper. My Maybelline Shine Free Loose Powder is amazing. Like, I swear by that stuff because it doesn't give me any flashback. I can use that stuff by myself and I'll be set. But again, if you're using a lighter concealer, you want to use a powder that has some kind of color to it, or like has some type of tint. If you're going to use a loose powder on its own and it doesn't have any color to it, you want to use a pressed powder underneath it. So I'm going to show you guys one way on this side, and I'm going to show you guys another way on this side. If I'm using a light concealer, right? So I'm using this light concealer. I use very little because I don't really need much. And I take 3 dots like that. I take my foundation brush and I blend it out to perfection, right? Now again, if I'm gonna use this concealer, to be on the safe side, I'm going to use my Bite Beauty pressed powder. You always want to use some kind of pressed powder when you are doing your makeup or you're setting your face, just to avoid flashback. But if you're going to use a light concealer like I just used on my under eye, I actually need to blend that out a little bit more because it's kind of looking a little bit bad. Okay, that's good. If you're going to use a light concealer like I did, everything just dropped on the floor, use a pressed powder. This is Bite Beauty Change Making Flexible Pressed Powder in the shade Tan 2. This matches my skin tone perfectly. So I'm going to press some underneath my eyes, and then I'm gonna go in with this with the powder that actually is tinted. So I'm gonna use my She Glam Now, some powders that you can use that I am super obsessed with is, again, the Maybelline Shine Free Loose Powder. This powder actually became my favorite. You just got to be really careful with this. If you do the technique that I just used, where you're using a light concealer, you use the pressed powder, and you use this stuff, it works. But if you're using this stuff on its own, you might want to use a concealer that either kind of matches your skin complexion or is maybe one shade that's lighter than your actual skin tone. Because if you go 2 shades up, this will give you flashback and you're going to have to use a lot of setting spray. So again, I go underneath with my Bite Beauty pressed powder, right? Just to make sure that it doesn't give any flashback. Then I'm going to go in with the Perfect Setting Powder. This is the loose powder from Shein. And I'm going to go in. And now what the tinted powder does is it kind of controls how light the concealer is and balances it out. So I'm going to take a little bit because this puffer be puffing. So if you're a beginner, I would say just use very, very little. You don't need a lot. See that? See, it calmed down this whole situation right here. And if you have dry skin, myself, we're gonna wipe this off immediately. This is it. I think this is it. So it just calmed this whole situation down, so it's not gonna give any flashback. And then if I want to be on the secure side, I can just go right into my Bite Beauty change making pressed powder and just wipe some more on it. But I think I'm fine for right now. Now I'm gonna show you on the other side with a regular concealer and using a brighter powder. I'm going to show you in just a second. I'm going to be using today for my demonstration is my extra coverage matte concealer. This is from the Magic Collection. This is from the Beauty Supply store, and I swear by this stuff because this stuff is amazing. This is like 1 shade lighter than my skin. So I'll take very little. I don't want to do too much. And I'm going to take my same brush, foundation brush, and blend it out like I would normally blend it. And it's giving a highlight, but not too much, because this actually matches my skin complexion. It's probably just 1 shade lighter. And make sure there's no streaks or nothing. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. So now what I could do is, there's 2 things I could do. I can go in just with the setting powder, and I'm going to use a lighter setting powder. I don't know if I should use the Nika, the NK. The NK has like a tint to it too. So I'm going to go in with the Airspun powder. So I'm going to jump in and use the Airspun powder. This has a tiny tint to it, but it comes off as a little bit lighter than the other 2 powders that I just mentioned. So I'm going to just go right in. And put that all under my under eye. Okay. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute. And I didn't have to use too much. Now I'm going to use this brush and dust it right off. So with this powder, it adds a little bit of brightness. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell the difference. I can tell the difference. This added a little bit of brightness because the concealer that I used under this eye wasn't as bright. But if you use the Airspun powder is like, it has a little tint to it, but it can come off real flashbacky sometimes. It's gonna brighten up your under eye. If you want to control it to balance everything out, because if I take a picture, it's not gonna give me any flashback because it's gonna look just like this one because they balance out each other. But it's just to be on the safe side, I just add a little bit of the pressed powder underneath. And this is the Security Goat, the pressed powder. So the moral of the story is, if you use a concealer that's lighter than your skin tone, you want to use something that's going to balance it out. So you use a tinted loose powder, and then you can use a pressed powder to calm it down. Now, if you're using a concealer that is a shade, either one shade lighter than your skin tone or something that's like right next to your skin tone, you can go in and use a brighter powder. But to balance it out so you don't get that flashback and you don't get that under eye, use a pressed powder that is your skin complexion, and you're gonna be fine. And as you can see, they all look the same. I have a bright ring light that's right in front of me, so I know that it's gonna come out good. So that's the trick. So I'm gonna finish my makeup. I'm gonna actually finish my makeup on camera. So I'm going to use my LA Girl my Pro Face High Definition Pressed Powder. I also use pressed powder for my contours sometimes. Like if I can't find a bronzer, I'll use a pressed powder. So I'm gonna use this. I'm not gonna do anything too crazy. Contour with the same thing. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of that powder up here because it's looking kind of bland and I don't really like it. Looking a little bit brighter than usual because I'm used to putting like some eyeshadow. And then see, I messed up here, but I'm gonna show you guys how I fixed it. How I fix this is I just run my hand through it, make sure it's rubbed in. That setting powder I was gonna use, so I'm gonna just use the remaining of whatever it is up here to set my nose because my nose gets creasy. And then, okay, so I'm gonna do something real extra. I don't really like to do this, but I'm doing it just because I have a bland face right now and I'm used to having eyeshadow, and eyeshadow brings everything together. So I'm gonna snatch my cheek, just like that. I don't want to leave it on for too long. I know that this is gonna give some kind of flashback, but we gonna fix that. Cause baby, we don't do flashback over here. Now I'm gonna go back and chisel my jaw, if I can find the brush that I was just using. Okay, so I'm gonna use some blush from She Glam. I actually like this blush. It's not too much and it gives me a nice little flusher color. Like I actually grew into liking this stuff. So I'm just gonna use it because I don't really have anything like much on my face today. Oh, that's pretty. That's real, real pretty. I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it. Okay. So I'm gonna spray my face, and that's another thing, you need a good setting spray. If you have dry skin like myself, I would recommend the e.l.f. setting spray if I could find it in my mess over here, because you should see my makeup station. It looks a hot mess. But I use the e.l.f. setting spray, and then there's another Milani setting spray is really good. It's the 3-in-1 or 2-in-1 prep and prime setting spray. I know I just had this stuff, I just don't know where it is. Here we go. Ooh, that was a lot. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, So for the inner corners, because I want to hit my inner corners with something at least, I'm going to go in with this color in here. This is the Ruby Kisses Topaz palette. Yeah, that's cute. It's pretty. I didn't realize that I didn't add any lashes, so I gotta add some lashes in a second. I'm gonna go with some highlighter. I'm gonna use my Wet n Wild highlighter just to highlight my face. I haven't used this stuff in a long time. Oh my god. It always gives the same effect. Okay, so I'm gonna add some lashes and I'm gonna come right back. Okay guys, so I put on my lashes and these lashes are from Amazon. I just gotta fix this one a little bit more. There we go. I feel like one looks more fluffier than the other because I think I might have cut this one a little bit too much. But for the most part, it's giving me life. Okay, so I'm gonna be using my Ruby Kisses matte lipstick. This is in the shade Scarlet. I'm thinking about using my other one because I think this one's gonna... It's giving me the red that I'm looking for, but it's not like gliding on the way I want to. So I'm gonna use this one. I think this is the one I use. This is Kiss Red. Yeah, this one is better. Ooh, that looks so pretty. This is like my signature. This is my wing and red lip. And then the gloss I'm using is from Kiss Me, Live Glam Kiss Me. I actually missed their subscriptions. I can't wait until wintertime for me to start using it because that's when they have like the best lipsticks because they be dark and all that. Like, it's so good. So this is the color Glam Rock. And this is from their 2019 winter collection. And this is a red lip gloss. Ah, looks so beautiful. So pretty. So I'm just gonna fix my hair just a little bit and then come right back. Okay y'all, so this is the final look and I am very obsessed with this makeup because this is like my staple. Let me see my eyelash. I'm not really feeling this eyelash on this eye. I might have to fix it or I might have to change it. But this is my staple. This is my wing and red lip. But I definitely wanted to come and show you guys my technique because these techniques have helped me. Like sometimes we want that bright under eye, but sometimes it could be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. So to calm it down, you can use different techniques, use different powders. And my number one go-to is a pressed powder. Pressed powder has helped me over the years. When I didn't know how to set my makeup for the entire day, like if I was doing maybe like an 8-hour shift, if I was going to work, or if I was out for the whole night and I didn't want to set my face, I mean not set my face, but like get any flashback and stuff like that, like pressed powder definitely helped me. Definitely my biggest suggestion is to use a pressed powder and make sure it's your skin complexion because it will help you. And then later on down the line, setting powders will get a lot easier. Setting powders can be tricky because they do have flashback, some of them. Not all of them, but some of them. But I think over the years, setting powders have gotten a lot better and the techniques of using it has gotten a lot better. But that's basically my technique on how I do it, and it's definitely helped. Let me know if you guys like tried the technique that I showed you guys today. Let me know if it helped you in any kind of way. And I think that's it. Oh, and I love my shirt. My shirt is so pretty, so cute. I like it. I like it. I was trying to save this for a day that I go out, but yeah, it looks really cute. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Then you be fooling. I'm peeping all of your movements. Cause girl, you the one I'm assuming. All of these bitches be choosing. But girl, you the one that I'm choosing.